Hello, and welcome to Recon Paint Gaming. I'm Patrick.
And I am Padre.
And today we're talking about Wave 11 tanks from Gale Force 9, World of Tanks Miniatures. I'm so excited.
I feel so naked without, any accoutrements like, Patrick here.
Listen, this is an antique. I found it on Amazon. I think that's where they make antiques. But
Yes, yeah. But they're called antiques. You get antiques from Amazon.
I think antiquated equipment.
Yeah, yeah. So tonight we oh darn, we have to talk about Wave 11.
I absolutely love this wave. Well, I love all the waves,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
this is it. This is where
This one's pretty damn cool.
oh man, Jagdpanther. Do you know how long we've been waiting?
Jagdpanther, yeah.
You know how long we've been waiting for the Jagdpanther?
Quite some time, and it did not disappoint.
No, it actually shocked me. But it is 68 points.
Yep.
At least it looks like it's 68. It is a
No, it's 68 points.
tank destroyer, assault gun. That's
Yes.
it. No light flank, no big gun, just straight out
Assault gun.
assault gun. It is
Assault gun.
6 firepour.
Yes.
So pretty
Before
hefty.
modification, it's 6.
Before
Yes.
modifications. 2 survivability.
Which, you know what? Not bad yet again.
We're going to go over this tank,
Get to the
but
greatest number on there altogether.
mobility 3.
Okay, one more time.
Mobility 3. But I mean, it is a Panther. It just doesn't have the turret. And Panthers can also have a mobility of 3. So literally, it's like what usually happens. They just slap on top like the chassis, and it's like, okay, yep, it still has the same engine, same weight almost, and it is a little front heavy.
Yeah, it's like putting like, I don't know, a 71 Pinto on top of like, a 4-wheel drive truck.
A friend of mine did that in high school. I think he slapped an IROC into a Ford Pinto. It was hilarious. It fit, but anyways, initiative 4, so not very high, but also not ridiculously low.
Correct. And it's 6 hit points with 5 crew.
That is a hefty tank.
Yes.
Again, we're gonna go over this bad boy. I'm excited.
Okay. So the only new card that kind of showed up here is that 10.5 centimeter gun.
The L52.
L52. Yep.
Notice no high explosive.
Nope.
So it keeps it 6. Gives it 2 initiative for how many points is that?
The best I could tell was I think it's 1.
I think it's 2. I mean, I can zoom in on it real quick, but honestly, that is a
I don't care. Even at 2, it's really good points.
No, especially at 2. That's incredible. That is like way better than it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks like maybe it's 7. No, but it's definitely 2. I think it's a 2. Because I don't think that you know what? That maybe it is a 7. If it's a 7, that's costed way too high. But
it's either a 1 or a 2.
Well, definitely not a 1. I think it is a 7 because I'm zoomed in on it. It looks like a 7. But if that is the case, I'm not going to pay 7 points for that. I could easily pay.
No, not for 2 initiative.
No. Because there are other upgrades that do that better for the same thing. Like there's +2 initiative for. But, if you're really strapped, you have 7 points free and you can't think of any other thing to do with it, then yeah, sure, slap that on there. Then the rest of them we know: enhanced gun laying drive, stationary, or 1. You get +2 during the shooting phase. So already we're up to an 8 on this thing right out of the box. Heavy AP shell.
If you use everything.
If you're using everything, we've got 6 Sense. Love that card.
It's a great card. It truly is.
I've been testing it out a bit. I really do like it, especially when you can spam it.
So especially when you have a mobility 3 tank.
Yes.
So Here, don't mind me as I cross the entire battlefield.
Yeah, you don't need recon at that point. And then we have Marcus Thesian or Thesian. Thesan? Thesan. He's decent for Thesan. We got safe stowage, so +1 during the shooting. So now you're up to 9 with this thing. And intuition at the beginning of the shooting phase. You may discard an ammo card to gain, I think it's +6 during the shooting phase. Whoo, baby. So, let's talk about this guy for a second. Because we've had a league going. We've done the releasing of the waves, which has been so much fun. And I've been busting out tanks that I haven't been playing with for a while. And I've been dipping back into the tank destroyers. So this thing's gonna hit, and I think it's gonna be good.
And you know how I like to look at things. For 93 points, you can have all of these cards on that tank for 93 points.
That's a lot of points.
A little steep, unless you're playing a 300-point game.
I think it's too many. But so when I've been playing in the league, Talanos played the Nashorn against me, and let me tell you, that thing was rolling 6 defense dice all game. Had no problems with 0 survivability. I had my SU-100 that was firing as well, rolling at least 4 dice because it was in cover. So, I mean, this thing is going to be amazing, honestly.
I think this will be a beast to kill.
Especially if you're going to recon with it.
Okay, let's be real. Let's say you move it 3 times every turn, plus the survivability of 2. That's 5 defense dice right there.
I know, it doesn't have light flanks, so you're fine.
Yeah, this is fine. This is great. We're fine. How are you? Right?
Oh man,
it's not going to be a problem. So,
no.
And I mean, the only way that you're not going to get 6 dice as a defensive is if the shooting tank has not moved.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get another die.
Yeah.
Period. You're going to have 6.
I mean, the way that Talanos ran his national was gorgeous, but like he boosted its initiatives so it could shoot before everything. He had concealment on it, so it was rolling an additional defense while in cover. He hit it behind a hill. My tanks were moving, so he was getting extra defense. So like I know SPGs are the thing, but tank destroyers still play because they are a nasty deterrent for when it comes to, like, literally my SU-100 was just slicing the board and making him drive between buildings and so on, and like they play and they hit. So my list was 4 Sherman tanks. Yours was, yes.
Yeah. It did okay.
It did.
Yeah.
And that was earlier in the waves. Or in the so that was like or in tiers rather. That was tier like 3 and 4 that we were doing.
And I didn't get to finish out the league because let's face it, I've not been feeling good.
Yes, but that's okay. We've been playing enough tanks to hold everybody over. But like that's what I'm saying. Don't just hold yourself to like the high tiers. Reach out and try to play with some of these. Figure out what you can do, and then if you're not playing them, as they're supposed to be played, it's going to die quick. But trust me, and that's why I really want to start getting out more videos of us playing and tactics and talking about what you can do with your tanks. Because, oh, man, when I saw this thing released...
Hopefully pretty soon, I can get back to a little bit more normal and we can start doing stupid things.
Exactly. Speaking of stupid things, what's the next tank? What are we doing next?
The next tank is the M4A3E2 Sherman Jumbo.
Oh, you know what? There are never enough Shermans. You hear that, everybody? There are never enough Shermans.
Enough Sherman tanks. There's never enough Sherman tanks, especially for like me. So
Well,
let's get down to brass tactics here. It's a Sherman tank.
yeah,
It's
you
let's
tell me the
face
stats on this thing because I love it.
okay. 4 firepower, nothing spectacular.
How many
Right in the
points?
middle
How
of
many
the road.
points, man? How many points?
44.
There you go.
Survivability 2, no big surprise there. Mobility
What?
2, initiative 5.
Survivability 2 is a huge surprise.
I don't think so.
Every other Sherman tank, even the Firefly, has a survivability of 1. This is the jumbo. This is the guy that can take a hit.
Yeah, but it's a jumbo. So, yeah, he is going to take a hit. That's why he has a survivability of 2. This is not a big surprise with this tank,
Which,
sir.
let's just talk about this. It's not really a jumbo. Maybe the armor's thicker, but it's just sloped rather than curved. And that's it. That's what gives it the extra survivability.
Except on the sides where it's a big flat side. Please hit me and ring my bell.
Yeah, I would think that this thing should have light flank. absolutely.
You know, it's got 5 hit points, which is, but hey, throw in there's upgrades for that,
To compare it, you're talking about a difference of 7 points because the Sherman, the M4A1 is 37. Same, right. It's 1 less survivability and it's 1 less initiative, but it's got an extra hit point. And it's got extra survivability, so that thing's gonna live. It's not gonna just blow up after 1 shot.
So it's worth the 7-point bump.
That's a good 7-point bump.
It's got the 5 crew members on board, which is nice: commander, gunner, driver, radio operator, and loader, right? And so you're gonna have a great time with that. It's a medium tank, so you're getting your re-roll. The God I love me a reroll any time of the day.
The one that fails for me every game. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, but not necessarily me. Now they do have some.
Let's go over the upgrades. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's got 105 millimeter, which is the same as the German gun we just talked about. That's a 10.5 centimeter gun, right? It's going to give you +2 on your firepower. So you're going to bump it up to a 6, and then you're going to lose 1 initiative. So you're going to go down to 4. And the cost of that is
high explosive. Which there have been a lot of questions about that. People are like, how do you make high explosives good? Number 1, you got to either take an ammo upgrade that gets rid of it, reduces your attack by 1, which you could finagle that because for 1 point, you could make it a 6, take some ammo, drop it down to a 5 with, I think it's where is it? Light. I don't know. I think it's the light APC shell. Or, light heat shell for 1 point.
Yes, the heat round.
You -1 discard, or you -1 firepower, lose high explosives. So if you want to bump this up to a 5 attack for 1 point, plus you take some ammo, so you take maybe 3 light heat shells. So that's 4. So now you're a 5 attack. There you go.
5 attack is not bad.
There you go.
5 attack is not bad with a reroll.
Yeah, and then you're spending shells. I haven't been keeping track of how many turns a game usually goes, but I mean, if you're taking 3 shells, you're going to be fine. That's going to hold you over because you may not use them every turn, and even when you do, things have progressed long enough to where things should have been dead. Yeah,
it gives you an option, right? Then we've got a 76 millimeter gun, right? The M1A1, right? So 6 points for that one. You're going to get a boost of 1 firepower, and you're going to lose 1 of your initiative points.
So you're talking now, if you just take that's 50 points. A 76 is 41 points. But you don't have that. You don't have that survivability.
Right.
And you also hit point.
Yeah.
So I
still a good deal.
I think 9 points, for an extra hit point.
Cheap. We definitely like.
And an extra survivability. Oh man. Right. I think that's worth it.
We've got the Ford GGA or the GAA engine, right?
Yep.
We've seen this before because it came out with the Easy 8.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it includes the jumbo.
Jumbo?
Yeah.
Right? So, you're going to bump your initiative up another 2 points on the
the Yeah, during
right?
it is. Oh wait, I'm not on the right one. Hold on, let me go to the next one. The Jumbo Sherman. So it's plus it's for 2 points plus 2 during the movement phase. So you'd be at a 7.
Yeah. All right. Throw on a turbocharger.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Why not?
Let me tell you, when you see people that are really into initiatives, this is like on every single medium tank.
So for movement phase, bump it up another 3.
Yeah, for 4 points.
4 points, right?
Ay,
and then of course we've got
Hey.
Tony Meacham.
Tony,
right?
Hey, Tony, you from New York,
Tony,
right?
You know, he's from Hoboken. From Hoboken, you know.
We're from Brooklyn. We're from Brooklyn.
And I'm just going to say this to any game developer at Gale Force 9.
Yep.
Keep throwing the double upgrades on single cards, because I'm loving that.
Honestly, if you guys are looking to increase your tank's survivability, and I don't mean like increase your defensive rolls. I mean like taking like Tony here. He's got snapshot, so +2 during the shooting, and he comes with concealment for 8 points. And if you want to be able to take those 2 at the same time, but you can't fit them, or there are other cheap cards that are like 2 points that have like recon on it, and then all of a sudden it also has like extra repair. Those, man, those are just the best cards you can take. Because let me tell you, failing a repair roll on your engine fire, like I did, because let me tell you, my opponent didn't kill my Comet. My Comet melted.
Yeah, it just kept going.
They couldn't hit him. They wasted like 20 dice on this Comet and couldn't kill it. But every turn that engine fire definitely killed me, and eventually it melted. My guys had to get out.
So all told,
yeah,
you use the 5 upgrade cards. You take it right out of the blister pack, right?
Mm-hmm.
68 points.
That sounds so cheap. Well, which gun are you taking, actually? Which gun are you taking?
I'm taking both, baby.
You can't take both. That's not how it works.
I know, but it's a 5-point difference depending on what.
So 6 plus 8 is 14, plus another 6 is 20. So yeah,
right.
You can 64 points. That's so cheap for this Jumbo Sherman.
Yeah. So I mean, when you look at that, I mean, the cost effectiveness of a Sherman tank allows you to have more Sherman tanks. And the more Sherman tanks you have on the board, the better it is. You may not be able to have, the great, Tiger 1 tank or Tiger 2 tank, right? But they're overcosted and Shermans are cheap.
I'm saying, like, you almost could run 3 of these.
Yes, you could.
If you took 2 with the 76 and then took 1 with the 105, I think
and don't forget
that would fit. And then you could take. I think you could take 1 more ammo card.
and the way we're going now, as opposed to the 100-point match, we're looking at 200-point matches now, because we've got new tanks that came out.
Wait, who's running 100-point matches?
A lot of people are still running 100-point matches.
I did not know that. That's good news. Hey, that's good news.
So, but you're looking at 200, and I think pretty soon we're going to start looking at 300-point games. Because, I mean, let's face it, there was a little tank that was released a little while ago. Something Tiger, sounded kind of like
Jagdpanther.
The Jagdpanther, right? For 107 points.
All right. Now we're going to talk with the M4A2 Sherman. Because, again, you can't have enough Shermans.
Right. And in this one, this was Lend-Lease. This was a Lend-Lease tank. And, of course, the first thing the Russians do is take off the damn governor so it can open up and have really good speed.
Yeah. I think it's 55 points for this thing. Let me just
55 points.
55 points.
But why is it 55 points, Patrick?
Because this thing has 6 hit points, 5 firepower, 1 survivability, because you can't have it all, 3 mobility.
Because it can go fast. Oh, we have moose and squirrels, so roll of duct tape. We better take over world now.
And like the Russians, a 6 initiative with their damn high initiatives.
So is this overcosted?
No,
No,
absolutely not. For 6 hit points on a Sherman,
right,
this thing can take a
right,
beating.
and it'll smile as it does it
So we've got a large first aid
because
repair kit or first aid
even
kit.
if you've got the one survivability and you
Yeah,
move 3, that's 4
4. You're in
dice.
cover. That's 5. If they moved, it's 6. 6 dice on
Yeah,
a Sherman. Let me tell you, it's
you're gonna be
annoying.
rolling 6. You're gonna be rolling 6.
Well, when you look at the chafy or the chaffy,
Yeah.
like it's that thing doesn't always blow up unless something's sitting still. So if that thing moves and you're moving, it's rolling 6 dice. It's got 6 health because you know people are throwing the what is it, the improved hardening on it to
Oh
give it that
hell
extra.
yeah.
So this thing's basically a chaffy, but it actually has 1 survivability on it.
Yeah.
And
And it's got more hit points.
oh my god, this thing's going to be a staple, especially if
And
you
it's
like
probably
Russians.
better on gas mileage. Who knows?
I did knew it probably overheated a
Yeah.
lot. Improved rotation mechanism. It's going to get +2 movement, +1 during the
Right.
shooting. So again, you're at 8 and 7 already. Smooth ride.
Right.
This card, I really wish it wasn't 8 points, but I understand why it is. I would love to take this card on a lot more tanks, but I never can find the points. Relaying, which is choose another tank, and it gets your initiative or base initiative till the end of the turn. Really amazing card. I'm glad they errated it because it's choose a friendly tank, not any tank. And then Ivan Rivinsky. It is 11 points.
Yeah. Yeah. But once again, you got designated target and one of my favorites, Deadeye.
Deadeye. Yeah. Oh,
And
Deadeye's so good.
I'm sorry, I love Deadeye.
Well, you stacked it and it really worked well against me. He had it on all
Yeah.
of his Shermans.
Yeah, it was bad of me. I shouldn't have done that, but I did.
You did, yes. All right. So, I mean, no engine upgrade, no cannon upgrade. It
Nope.
is just straight up extra kit cards, and you even get Ivan.
So it's 85 points out of the blister pack.
Okay, that's a bit steep. I don't
It's
think
85. But what are you getting for that 85 points?
you're getting a really quick tank that has a good amount of firepower, but it is not worth 85. I wouldn't invest that. I would definitely dump Smooth Ride. Ivan, I'm sorry, you get out of my tank.
I don't know. I still want to field it.
Oh yeah, definitely give it a try. This is.
Oh.
I love the Russians, and everyone laughs at me for it because I love my SU-100. I love the T-34. The T-34-85. Like, those are great tanks. The IS-2. Oh,
Right.
I love the IS-2. It is one of
Yep.
my favorite tanks because it is just a ironclad monster. But yeah, this would fit right in with one of my lists. So it's going to see table. For sure, it's going to see table.
So you want to bring us into the Achilles?
Yes, this is where I would cut and insert where the guy goes, Achilles! And Brad Pitt comes out.
I am Sparta.
This is Sparta. All right, tell me about the Achilles.
All right. So it's a 51-point tank destroyer. Pure and simple. It's a tank destroyer for 51 points with a 6 firepower, 1 survivability, 2 mobility, which makes it probably one of the fastest tanks in all of the
British
English Empire.
I didn't even think about that. That's so true.
It's 5 initiative, 5 hit points, commander, gunner, loader, driver, and a radio operator. Okay.
6 firepower.
Look very closely at it. It's an M10. So anyhow, once again, Lend-Lease.
How dare you? That's not an M10. It's got a British flag on it.
Yeah, okay. So it comes with a 17-pounder, which unfortunately is going to drop your firepower down to 5.
So,
but what's the best part about that whole thing right there?
Yeah, minus 6 points.
Negative 6 points.
Yeah. So, and this is like where you really have to pay attention to how that works.
So right off the get-go, you're at 45 points for that tank with that gun on there.
Because I mean, the first thing you're going to do is say it's a Hellcat because it has 6 firepower Instead of 3 mobility, it has 2. Instead of 8 initiative, it has 5. And instead of 0 survivability, it has 1. So you're trading mobility and
Right.
firepower for
For cost.
survivability. Yeah. And minus 6 to go down to 5.
To go down to 45 points for that tank.
I don't know if I'd pay. I'm sure if
It's
all of a
still
sudden
throwing 5 rounds.
if this was in my
not-
list and I needed to save points somewhere, yeah, I'd have to take it.
Yeah. Okay. So once again, you've got the 4 GAA, which
Bumps it up to
positive 2 in
6.
the movement phase, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And now we have Marcus Quince and
Marcus.
Marcus. Anyhow, he's a radio operator, and he has situational awareness, which I should be saying correctly. Situational awareness, right? And call for vengeance.
Yeah. Can we, anybody out there, if anyone has actually used Call for Vengeance and had success with it, please let us know, because I can't see any use for this card whatsoever.
What was it from Star Wars? Dead Man's Switch or something like that?
Yeah,
right?
Dead Man Switch.
Right. Yeah, that's what this is. Improved aiming.
Oh, man.
We've seen it before, right?
This is
in this particular case, it's going to give it a positive 3 in the shooting phase.
This thing is a sneaky card. It really is. Because
Yes,
I will forget that it's on a tank, or I won't even notice it because it's not something because a lot of tank destroyers, low initiative. I'm like, that thing's shooting last. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, it's shooting at a 12. I'm like, how? And they're like,
How?
Improved aiming. And, this thing.
I did this and I added that, and then there's this. And
it's the turbocharger, but for tank destroyer during shooting.
Right.
Oh, man.
Which is nice.
All right. Concealment.
We're not gonna. So, and then concealment. It's gonna. If you're in cover, you're gonna get another defense die. So it's gonna give you, the extra survivability. So let's take a look at this. So we start off with the 51 points. We're gonna minus 6 points because we can.
Yeah.
We're gonna add 2, and then we're gonna add 6 more, and then we're gonna add a big 4, and then we're gonna add 6 points. 63 points.
I was going to say, all you had to do was add like the other 3 cards, because the other 2 cancel each other out. Concealment and the quarter pounder with cheese.
Which makes this the cheapest tank
out of all of them.
All the cards, out of all of the blisters, this is the most economical tank. Followed by the Jumbo, followed by the Russian, M4A2, and then for some reason that Jagdpanther just seems to be a little bit on the expensive side.
Well, it's one of those tanks that's going to sit there. You are going to put some points into it, but not something crazy.
Right.
And it's going to do whatever job you tell it to do. If you want it to sit and hold somewhere while cutting off lanes, no, that's perfectly fine. If you want it to soak up some shots, it's going to soak up plenty of shots.
Right. And all 4 tanks together, and you can play with 1 card or 2 cards here, 309 points.
Yeah.
You get rid of 2 points, and you have a 300-point tank list.
Jeez. I mean, all right.
And that's some beefy tanks.
Every wave that we get, I absolutely love. This is I love this wave. And I know
everybody asks, people ask me, and they go, "Oh, what's your favorite wave?" And I'm like, 1 through 10.
Yeah, and now 11.
And now I have to say 1 through 11, because each wave that comes out, this game just gets a little bit better. And I look at these new tanks, and I'm like, okay, what can I take from here and utilize with a wave 3 tank? And maybe those 2 would have a nice flavor with a wave 7 tank. And there's no hard and fast rules.
This is why I'm loving our league, because I am learning what I can do with tanks that you would think that could not make it in today's tier of gaming.
Right.
Like, holy cow.
And utilizing the tier system, as such as we are, it forces you to think a little bit outside the box and to get a little creative. And with that creativity of, okay, well, I got to use a tier 3 or below. How am I going to do this? Well, Well, if I use this upgrade card, because we didn't limit anybody on the upgrade cards.
No, so that was the other thing. Now that new upgrade cards came out, and all of a sudden you take improved hardening, you can throw that on almost. Yeah, I know you can throw it on any tank, but you can put it on any
Throw
tank.
it on a Chaffee.
What? No, you. I was throwing it on my Hellcats because those things don't have much health to start with. They only have 4.
But that improved hardening helps out in so many different avenues.
And then all of a sudden it's 5.
A wonderful card.
Yeah. Same thing with Sherman's. And what was the other thing that I was taking? I don't think I tried the Stug, but yeah, no, I started diving back into older tanks and realizing that with new upgrades, they are perfectly fine staying up to date with current tanks.
So even when we played that one with the Panther and the Jagdtiger.
Oh yeah, you had a 2-tank list.
2-tank list.
So the Board Game Brothers, that was their last 2 matches. One of the brothers took the Jagdtiger for the last 2 matches and was cleaning house because the brother goes, I don't know how to deal with that. And you know what? Neither do we.
Nope. We know how to use it. We just don't know how to defend against it.
But it also raises the other question to where someone goes, oh, well, what is it? The T-54, 105 points. That's too many points. And it's like, no, it's not. That's actually a really good cost for that tank because of what it can do. And even...
once again, let's look at that seriously, okay?
Yeah.
And I say 300-point list side.
Oh, yeah, 300 points would definitely play. But yeah, no, like the Super Pershing it was a hard takedown. I had to seriously think about what I'm going to do against it. I mean, these tanks are put on the field, and you're then stacked into a scenario situation, and there are moments to where I've played a game and I lost. And when you look at the paper, it looks like I lost hard. But then if you actually watch the game, I literally lost by 3 millimeters because I didn't move my tank far enough to score another victory point for the win. Because I can use my tanks to move around a field, and I don't have to invest tons of points in them, or I have a game plan with the tank that I took. So just because something's 105 points does not mean it doesn't have a place. And just because something has no health, like even the T-70, I've seen the T-70 come out and it did its job and people had fun with it. And they're like, oh, you know what? I found a place for it. It works.
Yeah. And I think that there's a niche for every tank that they've given us so far.
Especially the Sherman.
We just have to find the list for it to fit in.
And
everything can work with everybody else.
Well, well, go ahead. You finish your thought, then I'll say my thought.
Well, the only thing I'm thinking is, what irritates me the most is when I hear, "Oh, that tank is just no good. It shouldn't have been brought out." What was the words we used to hear all the time? Dead on arrival.
Oh, dead on arrival.
No dead on arrival tanks here. There's a use for everything. So, sometimes you want flour, sometimes you want almond oil,
or you want whole grain, or you may want rice flour, or you like
little vanilla, or do I want almond extract? Which one do I want to go with today? And that's what the tanks are doing for us.
Well, so I want to talk about the Shermans because I've had too many people say there's too many Shermans. I don't need these Shermans. I want other tanks. I get it. You want other tanks, but guess what?
Okay.
If there are people who want to play only Russian tanks, which there are quite a few of them, to where they will collect only Russian tanks or only British tanks because that's what their favorite thing is. Guess what? Now they have a Sherman.
Yeah.
And
so everybody has a Sherman to play with, except for the Germans.
But this is the thing. If now I want to take actually this says usable for the jumbo Sherman. If I want to take a Sherman with a little more punch, I can take this one. If I want to shave off some points, I can drop down to the next Sherman. I can still include a Sherman because the Sherman is the tank that I want to field. It's my favorite tank. So, actually, it's your favorite tank, but I'm just speaking on behalf.
I have 2 tanks I'm passionate about, and that is a Sherman and that's a Pershing.
Oh, the Pershing. That's my favorite, but I've
And
been
then when
steering away from it.
and then they let me have a super Pershing.
That thing hits so hard.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a German Sherman. But I really wish there was.
No, there's not. But
Just so that I can say a German
Panther,
Sherman. Yeah.
but the Panther,
Um,
I would say equal.
yeah.
You know,
And so, like, they're just going to keep putting out these tanks because during war, they put out a tank, they increased its armor a little bit, then they increased its cannon, then the cannon was too big for the
don't
turret,
forget,
so they changed out the turret.
we've still got the French, the
Ooh,
Polish, the Czechoslovakians.
where did I read
I
that?
mean,
They were talking about putting out a French tank.
Renault.
Who did that?
That somebody was talking about. That.
So somebody said it on Facebook or Discord, like that they were
Mhm.
talking about releasing French tanks. I don't know if it's true, but if it is, I'm very excited.
But what's to hold them back? Correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick. You play the video game way more than I do.
I want
Are
Chinese tanks. I want
Are there not
Japanese
other nations in that video game?
Absolutely. Yeah. No.
Okay,
I'm actually.
so if we have other, I mean, the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Whatever that game puts out is crossover.
Yep.
Is a possibility of a crossover into the tabletop version.
Yeah, because I'm saying
And that
World
does
of
not
Tanks
depress
Blitz.
me. Yeah, that does not depress me at all.
No. So I really hope they start getting into other factions because I know that's going to excite people rather than be like, oh, the Shermans. It's like, yeah, but now we've got Chinese tanks, we've got Japanese tanks, French tanks. Hell, I'll even take an Australian tank. They've got a couple.
But he's the tankettes.
The tankettes.
But wait a second. Now think about it. What if there was a tankette that cost with upgrades 35 points?
Oh, that'd be great.
Now it doesn't have a lot of firepower.
No.
Right? But I can field, 10 of them.
No.
With the cost, but no, wait a second. But
No.
I can.
Don't listen to him, everybody. It's a trap.
Okay, so I can field 9 of them at a 300-point game, and instead of 9 tanks going after 3 tank list.
Yeah.
So even what fire ants can take down big animals.
Oh, but that's another great because we've tried that to where you took a bunch of Panzer J's and you couldn't scratch the Tiger or the IS-2.
We were also playing inside of a city.
What?
And tried open land. It would have been slightly different, I think.
Oh, probably. But that's using.
My God, was that fun? Though.
Oh, it was really good. It was very thematic. Well, that's the other thing. I would love a Matilda so that I could build a scenario. Because again, I read an amazing story about how like 6 Matildas held off against like 80 Panzer J's because they couldn't damage the things. Meanwhile, yeah. And that's the thing. So even the Churchill 1, which I thought was not going to really, do well in this kind of meta, but it does. If you have an idea of what to do with it, and you take a Churchill 1, because I took a Churchill 1 and friends have taken 2 Churchills 1s, and they're just, you can't eliminate them in one shot. They're just ridiculous. And then even if you kill one, they're so damn cheap.
Yeah.
There's enough left on the field to handle whatever you've got, and it's the same. The KV-1S. Again, it's a tank that is 2 survivability, 1 reroll, it moves twice. That's 4. Whatever you move, that adds to it.
Easy, but yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that this is a very the upgrade cards. There was nothing really new.
No, which is okay.
But we didn't need new. The cards that are there now are working, and I don't mind having extra cards that duplicate that I can use in other lists. So this was a win-win. Did you see that one picture, though, that I scored for us that had the 4 tanks on it?
Oh, yes.
That was a gorgeous photo. I mean, I just loved looking at that one picture. That was great. They were just all the tanks even look good together. You know,
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
these models are always amazing. I absolutely
well,
love
yeah,
the.
they're clean, they're good.
They're
You know,
definitely clean.
I just sign me up. Holy crow.
All right.
I just think I think it's a very clean, very elegant, it's not too complicated, and there's nothing. I don't think there's anything in here that the points are going. Oh, I can't use that. Nope, I
No,
would use
everything
them.
in here is perfectly scored.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
We've been yammering on for 41 minutes. I think that's going to do it for today.
Yes. Yes. And we will be broadcasting again. Probably, I think you're going to do it yourself for a little bit until
Yes.
I get back on my feet again. So,
Yes. So everyone wish
um,
Robert good luck,
yeah.
and we will see him on the
Uh,
battlefield.
yes. Yes. I have to. I'm just battle fatigue,
Yes, yes. Shell shocked.
shell shock and battle fatigue. So I gotta take a little break for a little while, but I will be back. But Patrick was going to hold down the fort. You
Yes,
know,
I'm going to try to work with some people close to us so that we can get some actual live tank videos back up on the website or back up on
yeah,
YouTube because we haven't done one in forever.
yep,
And I really want to get those going again. Plus videos like this, and I want to do more rules videos and so on and so forth because people are always asking questions on how interactions work. And yeah, and do some list building
that's it.
videos.
Yep. So I'm good.
All right, this is Patrick for Recon Paint Gaming. Go check out reconpaintgaming.com to look at all of our social media accounts, our stores, recontokens.com, and also our Spring Tees collection for t-shirts
Right.
and mugs.
We
And
have a collection.
we have a collection. I'm building a collection. And also on the beautiful picture of a guy saying, it's not me, or it's not you, or it's not your dice, it's you.
Yes.
It's my favorite. I got to make a tank commander dude that does that too. Um,
Yes.
but other than that, Patrick reminding you to play casual.
And Padre says, "See you."
Later.